This episode was recorded while Sky was a part of the Soundtrack of Our Lives podcast. She has since started her own podcast, which can be found on Instagram at Beats and Brews Pod. We wish her the best of luck in this new venture.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sky, and today with me is Anna and Elyse. Welcome to the Soundtrack of Our Lives. Anna will talk to us a bit about her music, her experience with producing, and how it is to be an artist nowadays. Welcome, Anna. It's a pleasure to have you here with me today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks
How are
for
you
inviting
today?
me.
How's everything going?
Good. It's going good. Working on some new music, and it's a great day today. It's a Friday.
Yeah. Anything exciting coming up for the weekend?
Just some Mother's Day festivities.
That's true.
And then my sister's coming into town, and my birthday is next week. So lots of things going on.
That's a lot of things going on, yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like summer is just around the corner, but at the same time, it's like not.
I know. It's like we just made it into spring.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, I guess summer is like right up here.
Yeah, but sometimes it's like, because you're located in California as well? Or
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like extremely hot. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on?
Yeah.
And then sometimes I wake up and it's cloudy and cold and I'm like, why?
I know. It's very confusing, especially this year.
Yeah. It's been really confusing. Okay. So to start with, do you want to start by telling us like when did you realize you wanted to make music and how old were you and why did you decide to go into the music industry?
Yeah, so I think it's always like for as long as I could remember, I was always writing. And really young, I remember being like, oh, I have to do this. I have to be a songwriter. I have to be performing. And I remember actually being at this Dave Matthews concert when I was really young and like listening to the lyrics and the live music and the musicians were just so good. And I was like, it felt like something that I had to do. I got this hit of like, this isn't a choice. Like you have to do this. This is what you're going to do this. And then I spent an interesting amount of time like learning everything around actually doing it. So like I went to UCLA and studied poetry.
Okay.
And then I went to audio engineering school and learn like the production side and that technical side. But it took a while for me to finally like step into just what I wanted to do. It's like be a singer songwriter and produce my own music. So that took a while. It took a lot of like learning. And I'm someone who wants to know like everything about everything before I do something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's happened in a good amount of time. I think I need that back. I need to like have that information before I jump into something.
Yeah. Completely understand that. I think I'm the same way. When I've done like music stuff, I always, if it's something I don't know, I go and like do research and listen to it and spend an amount of time doing things until I can feel confident to like start making that I need to do. So
yeah, exactly. And there's always more to learn. And sometimes, but that's like the one issue is like I realized I was like, wait, I need to stop gathering information and just freaking live it.
Yeah.
Just jump into it and see what happens. Because if you spend too much time like, oh, I have to have the perfect mic, or I have to have, it needs to sound this way, or it has to be as good as, some of the stuff. I worked in like professional recording studios, and I always felt like I was trying to initially come out with something that was of the caliber that had all of these professional musicians and backup singers and producers and audio engineers and mastering engineers. And it was overwhelming. So I was like, wait, like my guitar tone doesn't sound like that one,
Yeah.
But I think it's a process. You just have to jump in and kind of see where it takes you and learn as you go,
Yeah. So how would you describe your relationship with music right now?
Obsessive. Like a problem. No. Yeah, I mean, I think this is always on my mind. I'm always like, oh my God, what's the next thing? Like, how do I make this better? How can I write better? How can I sound better? How can I get better at piano, better at guitar? And like, how can I be more vulnerable? How can I show myself in a way that other people will relate and be brought in? Like, it's just an obsession right now, for real. And there's so many like facets to look into, you could focus on the production, on the mastering side, on the mixing side, on the writing side. There's so much of it that it's like easy to do. It's easy to always be trying to learn more. But also, I mean, it's just something that forever it's been a way that I can like put my feelings into words, even if they aren't my own. I would always use songs when I was younger to like express how I was feeling. I grew up dancing a lot and choreographing, and it was really in the dance worlds too. So that was another way for me to like bring these songs to life. I've always been kind of obsessed.
Yeah, I can understand that. Especially like I feel like there's not enough time for us to learn everything. It's like, do I wanna play an instrument and be good at it, or do I wanna spend this time, like learning mixing and doing mastering, and like there's not I just feel like there's not enough time.
I know, same. I'm the same way. And then I'm like, should I go back to school for, it's like,
Yeah, I know. So, what is your process when producing a song? Where do you start and which part do you enjoy the most?
I'm still like, my process changes.
Okay.
So I was going to say, it's kind of a tough question. It's not really a tough question, but it's it's not really, but it definitely changes. Like sometimes I start with my guitar. I think I'm most comfortable just starting, like currently just starting with the piano or guitar. I used to work more like produce the sound and then go back in and write to it. Recently I've been more like erring to the side of like just guitar, piano. And then more recently I decided, what if I just go back to my roots of just writing and like write poems?
Okay.
And I found that's like really calming to my nervous
Yeah.
system, which is interesting because I guess it's just somewhere where like, okay, whatever it is, like I can write it. So that's been kind of fun. And then, I might not use them, might use them, but it's just it's like cool to switch up the process.
Mm-hmm.
But I also am finding that I write differently when I produce the track first.
Okay.
It's like, so I'm still figuring out what works best, still trying to find what produces the best outcome. But yeah, it definitely changes.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it's a different feeling just having an instrument or having a track where you're just trying to like feel something with the track.
Yeah.
But with the
Yeah.
instrument, you kind of just go, you can like switch it up as you go, if that makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. It feels a little bit freer, but then I tend to do like, I think we all fall into certain like patterns
Mm-hmm.
or like things that we do usually. And I think
Yeah.
producing the song, I'm able to like branch out a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if it's just a hunch, I
Yeah,
don't know, but it feels like it.
yeah. No, that makes sense. And when do you know the song is finished?
Ooh. A lot of times it just gets to a point where I'm like, if I change this, will it connect more? Or am I making a new project? I
Okay.
had this professional guitar player a long time ago give me the best advice. And he was like, put it out now in its raw form because people might connect. If you keep like working the song, it begins to like transform into a new kind of project. And maybe your audience connected more authentically to that raw version, and you're just kind of like, when you could be working on something new and finding new inspiration, you're kind of like dragging out this song that was great in its infancy.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a feeling when you're like, no, this is enough. It's hard, but I also like to like have a date where I'll send it to mastering.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm producing and mixing my own stuff, I have to be like, I have to send it out to somebody,
Yeah.
because that's a good way to stop and be like, okay, well, if I'm sending it next week, no matter what, I'm not going to change the snare for the 100th time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a feeling.
I think having also another pair of ears listening to what you're doing can help see if you're done or if there's something else to do.
Yeah, it's always good to have another pair of ears. I'm recently like really looking to collaborate more because I love that idea of like, it just makes it it's not always, you're not always stuck in your own head,
Yeah.
and they'll see something that you're like, oh, I didn't even think of that, or I thought that was an issue, and they like it. I think it's so important to have that feedback when you can get it.
Yeah, that's true. Do you also produce for other people?
Right now I'm just producing for myself.
Okay. But have you done it before?
A little bit, not much recently. I
Okay.
used to a little bit more, but I kind of like, after I left like the recording studios, I was like, I'm going to focus on my own stuff, because
Yeah.
for so long I was like dancing around my own stuff, right? So I was like, no, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to stick to it, right? But I'm not. I'd like to in the future. I just want to stay a little bit more focused right now.
Okay. So you mentioned you studied poetry?
Yeah. So I went to UCLA. So they have the English program, and within the English program, there's like creative writing concentration that you
Okay.
can try out for. And so I ended up in this small group of creative writing poetry. It's called the poetry concentration at UCLA. And I've just always written poetry. Like, it's kind of strange. Like, I remember like second grade, I was like writing poems about snowboarding. Like, I just was like always into lyrics and poems, and Yeah, I also think it'd be fun to like write to a track, like to work with someone else who's just purely a musician. Like I
Yeah.
think that'd be so fun.
I don't know if you know, there's a writer, I think she's Australian, I don't know. She has these books called Pillow Thoughts, and then there's like 5 books of them now.
Cool.
But she goes to like different stages of, the heartbreak, and then the last ones are healing and like how she now have a new relationship whatsoever. I did like 10 songs based on one of her books,
Oh, cool. That's a great
of
idea.
her poems. So you just saying that about poetry, and I was like, damn, I feel like it's just easier. You have the poem. I do like write poetry too, but I've like never use it on my music, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally valid.
But with the books, it was just so easy to find inspiration to know what you wanted to say. I don't know. I think poetry is
Yeah.
beautiful. So
Yeah, that's a great idea. I was just reading some poetry books because it's just, you can find so much inspiration from the way. And sometimes I find it funny because poems, depending on who you're reading, like sometimes they're even more straightforward than songs. I always
oh
find
yeah,
that
yeah,
because there's like a huge plot, like you can do whatever you want with a poem, really. You don't have to fit it into a space. I
yeah.
mean, you could argue that, but you don't need to.
Yeah,
But yeah, you can. It's fun. That's fun. I love finding inspiration through books and poetry.
yeah, absolutely. So what can you tell us about the latest song you put out, Faster Than We Run, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was it
faster than
came
we
out
ran.
it came out like a month ago, maybe?
Yeah, came out a month ago. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So what can you tell us about it? How was the process of it?
It's an interesting process. I was at the beach when it was really foggy one morning and I was sitting there and then all of a sudden like I was looking out in the water and there's this, the clouds are like this gray wall. And I started seeing these like scenes play out through the fog of like old relationship, romanticized, of course. And I just kind of was feeling really grateful for it and like grateful that I had just kind of jumped into something and not worried about it. Kind of jumped off a cliff into this other reality, it almost felt like. And it wasn't a typical, oh, this ended well. Like it didn't. But I just think that's what life's about, like really jumping into these full-on crazy intense emotions and just seeing what happens. Like I love that sense of adventure. I'm just kind of, that's what we're here for, to just do our best, play around and like experience things. So yeah, I went home and I just wrote that on my guitar. And then I co-produced it with Arthur Pingree, who's out of New York. And we went back and forth and added our own stuff and kind of came to where we are now, to the song. But that was cool because I hadn't co-produced with anybody before. So that was really fun. And to get feedback and have someone be like, no, it's fine. Like, that's good.
Yeah.
Because I am such a perfectionist and I overthink these little parts. And it was nice to have someone be like, no, don't think about that. Think about this,
Yeah.
That was a really cool experience. And yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else, but it was pretty straightforward. Yeah, just got the idea, wrote it really quickly, and went back a little bit and edited some things, but it came pretty fast.
Okay. Yeah. I think it's a beautiful song.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And how do you feel after putting it out there? Have you had people like, or friends, family coming to you and asking about it or something like that?
Yeah, it's doing really well, and I'm really excited about that. It's better than it's the best that like a song of mine has done, which is really exciting.
Yes.
So I've had different people reach out, which is fun, like different producers and my family loves it, but they're my family, so but they're the best. Yeah, I'm really excited, and I'm just somebody who, right when I do one thing, I'm like, oh, I'm so excited for the next thing. Like what's next? I have so many things that I want to share. So it's been really exciting, and it's been fun to actually promote the song because I tend to like just stay. I'm more of a private person, so I've really been trying to like open up and like talk about it and post about it, and
Yeah. Okay. What musicians do you admire? Like, when looking for inspiration and stuff like that.
I really like Dermot Kennedy, and I really loved his early songwriting. And also, I grew up listening to Dave Matthews and Bob Dylan and those guys for different generations. But and also recently came upon Jensen McCrae, and I think she's just fantastic. I love her writing. And yeah, I think I just really like people who are lyric focused or songwriting focused and also have that background and also are good musicians. Like Dave Matthews is somebody
Yeah.
who's just incredible, and that band is just, the talent is so like the bar is so high, and like it was always captivating for me. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anybody else that's really. Oh, and I love Neil Young. I've always loved Neil Young. But yeah, recently I've honed in a little bit.
Yeah. What's the hardest part of creating music for you?
Getting stuck. Like I judge myself a lot.
Okay.
So I think the hardest part is just like getting past that. When you're writing or when you're playing something, it's always like, oh, this could be better. Like, what are you doing? This could be so much better. Like,
Yeah.
you need to, so I think that's hard. And I think it's hard because then one day you're listening to something, you're like, this is great. And the next day you're like, this is shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
and so it's like, I don't know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's somewhere between shit and good. Like, so I don't know. So I think that's a little tough, but I just think it's such a great character building experience though. Like to start something from nothing,
Yeah.
write it, and then believe in it to existence basically, and like get past all of those hurdles and all the things where like, I don't know if I'm doing this right, or this sounds like I want to sound. And then you keep going, you keep making those incremental steps. So it's hard, but I think it's like great blueprint for life, like believing in yourself, continuing to move forward. Even like if you're working on a song alone, you have to have that internal drive, to keep going. It's not like someone's like, yeah, that's great. Keep like, people don't do it every day. Like you have to believe in it, and you have to keep writing and keep producing and wake up in the morning and write another song, and just keep going. So yeah.
Yeah. So how do you know that the song you're writing or producing, it's good?
Well, I mean, someone might think it's good, someone else might hate it, So I think it's more like, do you want this story told? And I think as you grow as an artist, or I expect that to be a process where I'm more set on what I feel like is good and what I don't really want to release, or I just want to keep to myself. I think it's just a feeling. Like, is this just my self-talk stopping this? Or, is there valid reasons to, and most of the time it's like not valid. Like I've like written a song, produced it out, played it, and was like, this is a worse song. And it became like the best song. People loved that song. I was like, oh, okay. And then I hear it again. I'm like, no, this is great. But it took me just like, I played it on, these louder speakers, like just to hear the mix. And someone else heard it and they're like, what is this? This is so good. And I was like, oh, really? So I don't know if I have the best like gauge,
Okay.
But I feel like if it's a story you want to, you want to be told, you'll release it.
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's hard when it's something personal or that you're not sure about how good it is. But I feel like that's a common fear for musicians.
Yeah.
Just like, is this going to be good enough?
And I think also what's important is like, are you going to sit there and wait? That the big thing for me is like, okay, so if I don't think it's good enough, what am I going to do? Am I going to sit here for a month and think, maybe I should put this out? Just put it out.
Yeah.
And if it sucks, that's okay. You move forward and you learn from it. You're like, oh, actually, that wasn't received how I wanted. That's fine, because I didn't sit there and keep waiting on it or keep holding myself back. Like, just release it and then continue moving. I think that's how I like to live. It's kind of like, just go, just jump. Because if you don't jump, you can't learn.
Yeah. Definitely. I just think it's scary for a lot of people when the internet can be so mean and so hard on other people.
Yeah. When I think about the internet, I always think about this quote. I think it's a Roosevelt. I think it's Theodore Roosevelt, but don't quote me on that. And he just talks about, or maybe it's, I don't know. It's a Roosevelt, I think. And they talk about like, you're the one in the arena, like people that are like throwing stones in the stands. Why would I care about them? Like they're not they're not being like the most vulnerable person actually fighting the demons. Cause it's not like all of us songwriters are like, oh yeah, we're so confident. Like we are the shit. Like everything we do is good. Like we're very introspective. Like we think about things. Like we're trying to like captivate this audience, but it's our feelings. But I just try to think of it that way. Like they're not in the arena. They're not even trying. Like they're not in the race. They're not. What are they doing? It's really easy to sit on the sidelines and say that sucks and throw popcorn, or I don't know what they throw in, like eggs or tomatoes or something. But it's 100 million times harder to actually stand in your art and say, I'm releasing this, or I painted this. You invite yourself, you open yourself up to critics, and we know that. But I just try to remember, like, what are they doing? They're not doing anything that I want to be doing. Like, I don't sit there and tell people this stuff. Why would I do that? It's not my business. It's also very like subjective,
Yeah. Absolutely. So when you feel stuck, either like when you're producing or writing a song, what do you do to clear your head?
I like being in nature. So I will go to the beach a lot, or I'll just take a walk. And sometimes when it's really heavy, when I'm just having like an off day, I'll just take a day, figure it out. I try not to put down songs when I'm feeling that way, because a lot of times it's just a mental block and, you move forward from it. But yeah, I think getting outside, focusing on something else completely. I started learning Korean because I was like, I don't want to just be scrolling through my phone or like obsessing about stuff. So like doing things that are completely unrelated.
Okay. With social media being a big tool nowadays, how do you feel about it and how do you use it for your own good, I guess? I don't.
Yeah, that's a tough one for me, social media. I know that it's a great tool and we've never had a better tool to like reach people from all around the world.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get better at using social media because I just feel I'm just like inherently a more private person, so it's hard to like be like when I'm experiencing something in life, my
Mhm.
last thought is to video it or to pick it. Like I'm just like
Yeah.
I'm not someone who's immediately like, oh, this is beautiful. Let me take out my phone. Like, so I've recently been like, oh, shoot, I guess I have to take out my phone. Like, so it's definitely like counterintuitive to me. But I also feel like it's such a great way to connect and to
Mhm.
find like-minded people and build your community that way.
Yeah.
So I'm just working on it. I'm just trying to get better.
I agree. Creating content and just keeping up with social media can be stressful, can be hard, and sometimes you just wanna like spend that time or use that time in something that feels more useful, I guess.
Exactly. I was going to say that, more useful because like my thought is like I'd rather be like getting better at songwriting or like
Yeah.
better at producing or like listening to like a lecture on mastering or mixing. Like
Yeah.
I would so much rather be learning. So
Yeah.
I know there's so much good that can come of it, but it's like definitely I think it could be the hardest part for me,
Okay.
social media. But
Yeah.
I'm working on it. I like hard things. I'm
Yeah.
working on it.
No, I get that. I definitely get that. This is a little bit more of a technical question, but what's your maybe favorite dot to produce, or which ones do you use?
I like recently Logic. I used to use Pro Tools all the time in school and stuff. And I know it's industry standard and it's great for
Yeah.
tracking. But yeah, Logic, I've fallen using Logic like all the time for producing. And I even record into it. But Ableton looks so fun. Like I don't know why, but it looks so fun. Like I used to
Yeah.
use Ableton like a little and I didn't understand the workflow as much, but I see people using it and I'm
Yeah.
like, that looks so fun.
I
What do
think
you use?
Ableton, it's one of my favorites. I started using, well, the first one I learned was kind of like FL Studio or something, but I was like, this
Oh, I've
makes
heard of that.
no sense. I
Yeah.
was like, all the time I was pissed with it because I was like, this makes
Yeah.
no sense. Like, what's a quarter note? Like it didn't make sense
Hmm.
to me. Anything, nothing made sense to me. And then I moved into Ableton, and I have to say at the beginning, it's kind of like confusing and it's hard
Yeah.
because you know how old does it start like on this side and then you go like this, and
Yeah.
Ableton like the tracks kind of start on this side,
Yeah. It's like,
but
yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's really good. I think it's a great tool, and it has a lot of virtual instruments. Also, if you like doing like live looping and stuff like that, it's just so easy to do
It
it
just
there.
looks fun to like drag the plugins in too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I watch people producing it, I'm like, this looks like a game. This is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it that way. Yeah, I wish when I started using it, I saw it that way, but I was just so like stressed trying to figure it out that I was just like,
Yeah.
I need to figure this out because I'm not using, what I was doing before. In Pro Tools,
Yeah.
I've always seen it more as a, like, it's hard for me to see it as a producing tool because it's like, for me, it's like mixing or mastering
Yeah.
more, or
Yeah. It's a more of a process to like use MIDI and
yeah.
things like that. But
Yeah. I tried to use Logic. I honestly don't have it right now. I used it for a few days, but I didn't get to the point where I was, like comfortable. I mean, it takes
yeah.
time, but
Yeah. Totally.
yeah. So you said you're a Logic user right now. Like,
Yeah.
how do you feel
Yeah. Primarily.
the workflow it's in it? Like, is it easier or is it
I
just
think it's easy. I mean, I think it's very straightforward. I think
okay?
that's why probably why people like it because it just seems very intuitive to me.
Okay.
I actually wasn't planning on staying in Logic, but then they do like the annual subscription now for Pro Tools, and for some reason I got like a new computer and I didn't have my old Pro Tools, and I was like, whatever. Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I get like allured by like the Ableton and how people say it's like very inspire, like
Yeah.
it's very creative and it can
Mhm.
inspire it, like in the way that it's like laid out is very inspiring. But the time that it takes to learn Ableton, I'm like I learned it a little bit in school, but
Yeah.
I never like gravitated towards it. So I don't want to
Yeah.
like leave, because everything is the same when you get really down to it's like what you feel
Yeah.
comfortable with using,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, everything is technically the same, just in
Yeah.
a different way. Like the same but different.
Yeah, exactly. Just different ways to get to the same stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. So, and how do you feel about TikTok? How do you feel about using TikTok and posting it there, and how music is being used on TikTok right now?
It's so interesting. TikTok is so addictive. Side note, like it's like not good. I think it's wild how music takes off on TikTok, like, and how viral it goes. I mean, that's like amazing. It's never before been like that. It definitely leads to more of like making clips for TikTok. I've
Mhm.
seen where they're trying to like go viral with like a certain part of the song. How do I feel about it? I mean, it's another one of those, I feel like it's another tool, it's definitely a tool, and I'm learning how to utilize it. It does get kind of like exhausting when there's so many people doing the same thing, and you're like,
Yeah.
how am I going to be heard through it? And like, I don't really want to like cater to an algorithm. Like, I want people to hear my music, and I want the people that connect with it to connect. But it's so hard because you're like, I am just like at the core of it, though I'm not going to like cater my whole experience to like go viral, And yeah, because it kind of takes the art out of it. It feels like if you're just creating to pop off on social media.
Yeah.
But then I guess if you do go viral, then you have space to do whatever you want, really. So it's like I always see both sides of it, everything, which is crazy making.
Yeah. I think it's just complicated because I feel like going viral with one song doesn't mean that you instantly have fans and people that would go to the shows and
That's
listen
true,
to your
yeah.
music, because it's like, oh yeah, this song is catchy and I will listen to it or whatever. But will I listen to the rest of, the music or
like,
something?
do I like the rest of the content?
Yeah. So it's kind of weird. And I also feel like sometimes it takes the excitement out of songs. Like you hear too much of it, then when you get
I
to listen to the
know.
whole song, it's like, oh, that was it? I thought it was gonna be better, like.
I know. It's almost like, you know what it reminds me of? When people like have filters on in social media and they meet someone in real life. Like that's so scary to me. Like someone like, you know what I mean? When like they're always photoshopped or something, and then but it's the same thing. It's like you fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times you're gonna fill it in better than it is. That's the thing. And the constant, does get, I know it's what you're supposed to do, but like I see so many of these artists like for 3 months playing this clip, and it's like, oh my god, what is this now? Like, is this really a song, or is this like it's like a targeted marketing campaign for like you know what I mean? I don't know. It's the world we live in, and I'm trying to adapt and to like join in, but
it's complicated.
It is totally complicated.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like music is just not being what it used to be. Not that music is bad, but just with like, how we were saying with TikTok overplaying the music.
Yeah.
I don't know. It takes something out of it. So
there's a happy medium that has to be reached,
Yeah.
Where you're promoting your song and you're bringing in people so that you can continue to make music. But there's definitely a happy medium that we'll find somewhere down the road.
Yeah. What is maybe your biggest frustration and your biggest joy right now in the music industry and being an artist?
Biggest joy would just be that moment when like a song comes together and you're like, oh my god, yes. After like working on it and workshopping it. So it's just that moment where like everything comes together and you feel like, okay, all this work came to something. The biggest frustration, I think it's just like staying unwavering on it's hard to like when you have those stuck moments, or when you feel like, I think that comes with anything in life though, where you have days and you're like, I don't know, that whole stuff. That's annoying. But
Yeah.
I think that just is life. And I really work hard to train my mind and train my outlook on life. I've done that for a while, and to always find ways to up level my brain and brain health and that kind of thing. So it's about like hacking your mindset and like continuing to move forward,
Definitely. Okay. So
and
we're
also social media.
very important. So now we're technically done with the questions, but we have a section called questions no one wants the answer to.
Okay.
They're literally just random questions,
Okay.
just for fun.
Okay, I'm down.
Okay.
Let's go.
So the first question is gonna be, if people suddenly got paid for bad behavior, what habit would make you a fortune?
Oh, this is good. But it can't be like detrimental to yourself. So it can't be like you can't be paid to like, that's such a good question. But I honestly, I can't say something like I can't think of like a bad habit that would be good for me in the long run. If you're paid to probably like retreat into like a cave and write for the rest of my life. I
Okay.
would say if that's like a bad habit. I tend to like pull back from, life and just want to create.
Yeah.
Or I can't think of anything that's like fun and like quirky and like cool. That would be a bad habit. That would be good.
I feel like bad habits are not supposed to be, fun. But
Yeah.
there's also like some that are not that bad. Like they're really bad ones, and there are
Yeah.
ones that are just like
what would you choose?
if I can make a fortune out of a bad habit.
It's a hard one.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe like I don't know if this is a bad habit, buying unnecessary things.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
because I like to like, I mean, it could be a collection. Maybe it's
I
not a bad
like it.
habit. Yeah. But I like to collect like mugs and like cups and stuff like that. So I always have a different one. But I know they're not necessary. Like I don't need them.
Yeah.
But
totally.
yeah, but like, so that could be like a bad habit. Just like
I have one.
Okay.
Being like jumping off stuff. Like if I can make him like I'm somebody who just likes to, or like travel, like doing stuff like impulsively.
Okay.
Like I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like if someone's like, let's go to Europe, I'm like, hell yeah. Like
Yeah.
let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Like let's just figure it out, Or
Yeah.
like anytime there's like a big rock to jump off of, and no one will do it, I just run up the thing and jump off of it. Cause like if I don't have time to be scared if I'm like already jumping.
Oh damn, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
That sounds like you should think about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh God. Okay. So if you could swap legs with the legs of any other animal, which animal would you choose?
Oh, like a gazelle, just like because they
Interesting.
like glide and they're really fast.
Yeah,
Or maybe like a panther or something that goes really fast.
that goes really fast. Okay.
Yeah. Or like a what are those things? They have like triangle heads, they're insects. Praying
Yeah.
mantises. Because I
Okay.
could just like walk around like a weirdo.
Okay.
With like little tiny legs.
Ah.
It'd be very scary.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So I'm not like a cat person, but I feel like having cat legs would work, like
Yeah.
how they can jump places.
Yeah,
And
they can jump really high.
yeah, like and just move around like easily and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're always like good at landing when they
Yeah, they always flip.
Yeah.
They always
So I
land on
feel
their
like
feet.
that would be good having those strong, flexive legs, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see. Damn, I have like a big list of questions, and it's just so hard to just pick one. Okay.
Fire away.
What was your favorite breakfast cereal as a kid, and what is it now?
Ooh. What are those like Captain Crunch, I think?
Okay.
With the berries in it.
Yeah.
That was so good. That was like elite cereal. Oh, and like I think I'd say that one. There's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I always got like soggy.
Oh, okay.
I actually can't eat cereal anymore.
Oh.
Anything. Well, but if I could, probably like Cocoa Puffs or something.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had Cocoa Puffs, but I feel like they'd be really good. Or like those little cookies. Remember that cookie cereal that was just all cookies?
Oh my God, I was just gonna say that was
Yeah.
my favorite cereal. The one that has
Oh,
like
really?
a wolf
Was it good?
on the
Yeah.
yeah. I used to love that cereal. I don't know if it's as good now though. I haven't had it in a long time, but I was
Yeah.
obsessed with it.
It looked good. I was like, that's the one for me. Just
Yeah,
all
no,
cookies.
it was, I
So
remember it
great.
was, yeah, I remember it was so good, especially because, you know, like it looks like mini cookies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's,
Oh, what
yeah.
was the one? Like the Rice Krispies, but they were like Rice Krispie treats broken up. That was also really good.
Oh, I never saw that one.
Yeah, they were like clumps of Rice Krispies. So it's like literal like I think it was Rice Krispie treat cereals, I think
Oh,
the
wow.
name. Yeah.
I saw the other day, maybe I'm not like, I don't know, maybe I don't look around because I don't usually like eat cereal for like breakfast. Like, I feel like it's a weird breakfast for me
Yeah.
because it's just like sugar technically.
It's like sugar. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just
Like
like,
you're
no,
hungry in an hour.
yeah, like that's not how I want to start my day. But I do like sometimes like in the afternoon as a snack, which I know
Oh
most
yeah.
people think it's weird, but as a snack, I feel like it's good. Like a little
Yeah,
bit as a
totally.
snack. Yeah. I saw like Oreo cereal something. I don't know. It's like mini Oreo cookies. I don't know.
That
But
looks
I
good.
but I thought I was
Oreos.
like, damn, that looks good.
Yeah,
I feel like that I don't know. I feel like that would be good. Probably a lot
should
of
be
sugar
good.
in it, but
Oh well.
let me see. One last question. Okay, so why do we park in a driveway but drive on a parkway?
But where do they call it parkway? Like they don't call them parkways in California, right?
I don't think so. I don't know.
But I don't know, man. You're right. Why is it called a driveway? Well, I guess because you drive up to it into a garage. But like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Maybe
Yeah.
because you're always in traffic on a parkway, so you're like basically parked.
I mean, I think it's just because of I don't know, but that's an interesting question. It should be
Yeah,
called different, you know? Like it should,
yeah. It should be
yeah, it's just,
switched.
oh man,
Like,
things that we need to fix in the world.
yeah, exactly. It's imperative to fix that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for playing with me. I guess playing. Is it a game? I don't know. Thank you for answering my random questions. Anyway.
Yeah, anytime.
Okay. Our last question to finish off. What is the soundtrack of your life?
Like this song.
It can be anything, honestly. It can be a song, it can be an album, it can be multiple songs. It can be someone said that their family screaming was their soundtrack of their lives because that's
They're what screaming?
their families or their
Oh,
family
that's
screaming.
funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that because that was like constant screaming at their house or something.
yeah,
I don't know. So
yeah. That's good. I think there's a song by Dave Matthews Band. It's called 41.
mhm.
And the way that it's written to me sounds very triumphant and sounds like he basically says he's going to make it out.
Okay.
And that always stuck with me because I just love the feeling of like, no matter what happens, like I'm going to make it out and I'm going to share, and I'm going to. So I think I like to, and I'm sure he wrote it for a different reason, but to me, it's just kind of like, I'm going to go through these things, but I'm going to make it out and I'm going to share these things. It's going to help other people. So yeah, I like to think of that as like that's a good one.
Okay.
That like triumphant kind of feel.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming, talking to me. It's been a pleasure. We're so excited to see what's coming. Do you have any plans for shows or new music coming out this year? Anything we should know?
Yeah, working on a few new songs that should be out relatively soon, still in the
Okay.
process, but I'm excited about that. And yeah, looking to play some live shows soon.
Okay.
I'll keep everybody updated.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, so before we go, do you want to share your social media
Yeah,
so our listeners
sure.
can follow you?
Yeah, so I'm on everything as I am Anna Elyse, and my Spotify is Anna Elyse. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so much
coming.
for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for coming and taking the time to talking to me.
Yeah, have a great day. It's so good to meet you.
You too. It was nice to meet you. Bye.
Have a good bye.
Thank you, Anna, for coming and talking to us. It's been a pleasure, and we are so excited to see everything you are creating. And for our listeners, go check it out and make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at SEO Lives Podcast. Thanks for joining us.